Well, when one of you dies of the flu, there's more alcohol for us then.
No,
Wow, everyone wants out in there.
no. Well, you guys jump in an RP. What's up, Shane?
Well, I'd just like to thank everyone again for letting us come along with y'all. It's you know I understand that it's a dangerous world out there, and we had passed a couple of other people that weren't as kind. Um, they didn't try to take anything from us, but there's a lot of scared people out there, and rightly so. I understand. So it really means a lot to me, and I'm sure the others that y'all stopped for us and took us in.
I'll be damned if I let anyone else die on my watch.
Oh, so this is a map of the motorhome. This is basically what it looks like. You know, there's a couple tables and whatnot. There's a door. You know, that's where little Sam is, and everybody's kind of around the two tables up towards the front, and you got old Zachary. He's back there cooking up a storm, especially for Steve and Jax and Misty. Boy, you guys haven't had anything hot to eat in days and days and days, and it's really making your mouth water.
I am
So,
looking forward to it.
Winnebago or Prevo?
Hmm.
It's a Winnebago or a Prevo?
It's no. This is actually I forget what type of RV it is, but it's not a Winnebago, but it's a fancy one. This has the sides that kind of extend out, you know, like 5 feet on each side. It's a fancy
Nice.
one.
I particularly like the double bed.
So, you know, as you guys are kind of speaking with one another, you know, the chit chat going on, the back door opens up, and the little girl Samantha comes out, and she, you know, basically goes up to old man Joe and looks at. She walks up to the front of the bus, and she asks everybody. She asks where her daddy and Monica are, and how the baby's doing, and she says, "I'm really thirsty," and then she looks really pale and really sweaty, and as she, you know, asks where the baby is, and, you know, her dad and Monica, she basically falls to the floor. Zombie, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Anyone have that alcohol now? She didn't touch anyone.
No, I don't have any alcohol on me.
Yeah, so Joe gets up and rushes to her side, you know, trying to get her to stand up. And this is while everybody's kind of looking at one another. She appears to be unconscious and able to stand. You know, and then you kind of got, you know, the boys, you know, kind of staying away from her. You know, Greg tells his boys to get back.
I'm physically checking my 9 millimeter. Make sure I have a
Hmm.
round chambered.
Okay. Well, one of Gregory's little boys, Peter, he gets up and runs over to her and says that she needs help. And he even looked at his dad, at Gregory, and says, "Dad, mommy would help her, so I'm gonna help her." So he runs over, and he goes. First off, he stops by the sink and gets like a paper cup full of some water, and then goes over and tries to give it to Samantha. And over, you know, after about a couple minutes or so, Samantha kind of comes to a little bit, and, you know, Gregory actually doesn't. Gregory just kind of sits there and doesn't, you know, force it. He gets up a little bit, and then Joe tells him to sit down, he'll take care of it if anything happens. Because he does kind of lift up his shirt a little bit, and you can see a handgun, a revolver. But nothing happens. Samantha she just appears to be super sick, high fever. She's sweating, and basically Joe and the little boy basically help her back to the back. That's basically just what happens.
Have any of you checked her out and make sure you're 100% sure she wasn't bitten?
Joe did.
Joe, you're
just from what I didn't take the girl's clothes off or anything. What are you talking? If you're insinuating I did that, I did no such thing.
No, sir. I'm just trying to figure out if there's any other. Maybe she has some other medical issue that's causing this, and not. Have you asked her maybe if she has been taking medicine for anything?
There's no medicine, but her daddy Timothy and stepmother Monica, when they were alive, Monica lied and she was bit. And Timothy hid that she was bit, so we have that. She has that against her.
Sir, we're assuming and going on the assumption that she is just regular sick.
Well, Mrs. Betty, I'm not going to take the child's clothes off. I'm a man. I'm not going to do that. I ain't no sick, disgusted pervert. So, Betty, if you want to take a look at her. You and Mrs. Misty, if you want to go back and give her a good once over, maybe get her cleaned up a little bit, and let us know. That's the only way we're gonna find out, I guess.
I'm just wondering if you guys knew if she had asked her about any medical history, if she had diabetes or something. Maybe she's out of insulin. If there's something else that might be wrong with her other than, actually. Whatever's going on out there.
No, her daddy Timothy just said that it was just a fever, but she's been sick for about a week now. You see, almost a week now. You hear?
Yeah, she would have been bit. You would have seen something by now.
That's what we thought about Mrs. Monica too. But but old Miss Monica, she's the one that she gave birth to one of these, and she wasn't even a zombie. She wasn't one of these. And he puts his hands up, his fingers up in quotations. One of these zombies that you would have seen on TV or heard from the War of the Worlds, of one of those crazy ass shows. She was fine, but she gave birth and she was bit. So they lied to us. I don't know if they're lying to us about Samantha. Hell, I don't know if she's bit or not. I didn't see anything. I looked at her arms and legs, and that's all I could see. So I ain't gonna take the girl's clothes off. I ain't no pedophile.
Betty, let's go back there and check her. Maybe try if she does have a fever, we could always try using ice if we have any kind of cold. I don't know if you have any access to anything cold in here.
We do have the water, so we can always just get some cold water on a washcloth. Hopefully that'll at least get the fever down a little bit.
Right, let's go check her out. So I'll get up and head back there. I'm gonna check her over thoroughly, make sure she's not bit. Try to use whatever knowledge of just common medicine that we have to try to treat her.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a cold washcloth, get some cold water on it from the sink.
All right,
Miss Betty,
head back there.
You do have your gun, correct?
Does this RV have a fridge in it? Maybe it's got some ice?
It does. I was just fixing to say that, Steve. It does. It has, a couple trays of ice, and it does have some cool bottles of water in there too. And the AC is on very minimal. So
maybe you can make a makeshift ice pack to put on her forehead or something to cool her down.
Yeah, I'll take some of that ice and wrap it up in like a dish towel or something for her.
Yeah, and as you're getting into the fridge and getting all of that, little Sam kind of tugs on your shirt, Betty.
Oh, what can I do you for?
Oh. Sam, I think you asked her a question.
I did. Or I asked Betty. I said, "You make sure you have your gun, of course."
Oh, yes, always. There's always something on me. Don't worry about it. We got everything under control.
Yeah, I'm sure the two of us can handle anything that happens back there.
All right, so you two females, you guys go back there and kind of take a deep breath before you go back in there. And Joe's back in there tending. He went in there as you guys were getting the rags and the ice, and he tells you that she is sleeping, and he kind of scoots his way down the hall between you two, and he heads back up towards the front where Gregory and his kids are and whatnot. So you guys go into the small room, and she's there. She's kind of she's definitely carrying a temperature, very clammy. And what are you guys doing? You guys are going to give her the proctored examination, whatever it is, gloves and all. This is going to hurt me more than it hurts you, Samantha. That kind of examination, or what? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Are they looking for bites or contraband?
Yeah,
We're-
exactly.
we're-
Nature's pocket. I'm not going anywhere near nature's pocket, Dave.
Nope.
Nature's pocket. Oh, how it carries from one game to another. All right, so you guys, there was a small bag that was all of Sam's belongings were brought, and you guys found sort of like a little night dress for her too, and you guys get her changed and cleaned up, and you guys are looking all over her body, back of her legs, back of her arms, back of her neck, lifting up her hair, everything. There's literally no puncture marks on this girl whatsoever. None. No bruises, nothing.
Well, if I didn't know better, it doesn't seem like she was bitten, as it were.
You can hear a couple more
that
thuds
way.
also. You can hear old Michael up there. He got a couple more. That's 5 more points. You can hear, Michael and Zachary up there talking about this is for 2 points, for 4 points, or 5 points.
Since when are we in Death Race 2000?
I'd like to thank Michael for not making us thumps under the RV and
Oh.
realizing we weren't zombies.
Oh, we have seen you three. We thought you were a pack. We were gonna label you 15 points. That was gonna be the trifecta. But all of a sudden, when we saw that you had guns, we didn't know if you were pulling them on us or what, Stevie.
No, nothing like that. Just for protection.
All right.
So we have to use guns. We don't have a nice RV to protect ourselves. So.
Shoot, we just, if it wouldn't have been for good old Miss Betty and Sam and the young man from Detroit and Cletus, we wouldn't have had this RV either. So hey, the Lord works in mysterious ways. That's what the Reverend always said.
I asked Betty, do you have any kind of have you come in any possession of like Tylenol or anything like that might break a fever?
Sure, there was some. Yeah, there was some in a first aid kit. Yeah, absolutely. There's actually a couple first aid kits that have the Marina's logo on it. So basically, from probably a couple of the boats there in the marina. So as you guys were looking through all those ransacked boats and empty boats, guess who got there first? Good old Henry.
Of course he did. So, okay, I'm gonna go get 2 of the pills, and a little cup of water for
Okay. Well,
Misty,
Samantha,
would you hold her head up while I try to get her to get this down?
Sure.
yeah, she drinks it. She she says thank you, and she says, "Oh, the ice makes me feel so good. I'm a little cold though, but the water tastes so good. Oh, it's so cold. I feel better already." And she kind of just passes back out.
That's the little girl voice.
Yeah.
Nice. I tuck her little covers up around her, but we still leave like a little ice pack on her, and just have to wait and see, I suppose, how things go.
And then as you guys are going back outside, you could hear her say, "I told everybody I wasn't bit." And then you guys shut the door and. So,
How old's this girl, Dave?
she's probably about 6 or 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Betty just kind of stares at her for a moment in the doorway before closing the door.
Kind of reminds you of your little Sam about that age, doesn't it? Oh God.
A little bit. Once you're a mom.
Yep.
Is the RV moving?
It is. Yeah, the
Okay,
RVs.
that's good.
Oh yeah, you hear once in a while you hear a. That's 2 points there, Michael. Yeah, Zachary, that was for 4. What are you talking about? So you can hear Michael and Zachary. Now that the jambalaya
Thank
is
you,
done,
Doctor. Thank you for the follow.
it's been about an hour, probably about an hour to an hour and a half since they got back on the road, and the jambalaya is delicious. Everybody's not used to having hot food. Even if there's any non-shrimp lovers out there, you eat it anyway because it's so good. Even if you're allergic to it, you eat it. Nothing happens, but
Nice.
of course.
I was getting ready to say that because I'm not a big seafood person in real life. I was like,
So we have plenty of EpiPens around.
I eat it anyway.
Plenty of seafood. What was that? What was that called again?
An EpiPen.
Oh, that's for the
Epinephrine.
shellfish or some shit like that.
Yeah.
No. So, you see anything back there? You see anything of that little girl? Is that little girl bit? You see out there, Miss Betty? Or Misty, did you see if she was bit? Was she
I
bit?
expect her to turn any minute.
Oh my goodness! Should we go back there and put a bullet in her?
No,
she's
no.
No, she's just sick.
Oh, well, she's
Yeah.
such a good little girl. That she is.
She seems to be feeling a little better though, so hopefully give her a little bit of time to rest.
So,
Really all we can do for her right now.
so she ain't bit then. She ain't bit.
Nope, not at all.
Nope.
Ooh, boy. He kind of wipes the tear, not the tears, but the sweat from his forehead, and he says, "Boy, I'm sure I'm glad to hear that. She's a cute little girl. I'd hate to drop one in that forehead of hers. I'd hate to do it." But then Michael gets in there and says, "But I would have done it."
Right.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it again.
All right, so you guys are going back and forth. You guys are just talking about small things. And you guys see a couple road signs, and Michael and Zachary are sure to point it out. Ooh, Jacksonville, 4 miles. Jacksonville, 3 miles. Boy, we fixed All it. right. Man, So, we as you man, guys we are starting to almost here. Get closer to Jacksonville. You can see that the sky is orange, and you can see flames, off into the distance. I mean, it's not like you're right there. I mean, there are literally cars everywhere. And as everybody, coming up, you basically start to approach a roadblock. Basically, there's a roadblock in the road. And basically Michael and Zachary, I think we're going to have to get out here. We're going to see if we can move these. We're going to have to get the heck out of here. So I'm going to pull up a map really quick. This is wow, 2 maps in a night. What's up with this? So this is a map. This is basically what you see. This is a roadblock where you can see that there's there's a truck, there's a Saturn, there's a Toyota, a Ford, like a minivan, and a big old Tundra truck. And you've already passed a couple tanks, probably about half mile back, basically launching their big guns into the city. And so you guys stop, and this is what you see. Now, as you guys start to approach the wrecked cars, it seems like this is all part of one accident. All right, and Michael and Zachary, they get out. The boys are going to stay with Samantha, as Gregory is going to also, their father. He says that now that he knows that she has not been bit, that he apologizes for sounding adamant about it, but he says, you have to put yourself in my shoes as a father. I'm just trying to protect my boys. So they go back and they basically go inside of the RV and tend to Samantha. So as old man Joe, Michael, Zachary, they have their guns out drawn, shotguns pointed ahead, pointing the barrels, wherever their eyes are looking. Old Joe, he's moving on carefully, ready to, he's got his gun in one hand and his cane in the other one, looking to whack anything. So as you guys start to approach the blue Ford Taurus station wagon, now you can tell that the hood's smashed in, the windshield's smashed in, where it was basically smashed into the delivery truck there. And you can see that there's blood smeared everywhere across the inside of the windows. Now, in this Ford Taurus, there is a woman that is in the front seat, and half of her face is gone basically, and she's definitely been there for a while, because you can see that the flesh is rotted off, and you can see the muscles and tendons showing vividly in the moonlight on her face. And she is strapped in with a seatbelt. So all of a sudden, as you're kind of looking around in this blue Taurus, she starts to moan, and she reaches for everyone through the broken side window, moaning a little bit. And of course, with the seatbelt constraining her and confining her to where she's at, she's just kind of reaching out towards you, moaning. Now, as you're kind of looking around, and Zachary and Michael are like, don't waste your ammunition. She's fine. She just hang out here until the end of time. I'm not going to waste a bullet on her. So as he's kind of pointing his flash, he's got a flashlight taped to the end of his shotgun. He says, "Oh," and he kind of holds his mouth like he kind of was almost ready to throw up, because in the back seat you can see that there is still strapped into the car seat is a child, probably no older than probably 2 years old, and the child's stomach has been ripped open, and you can see that her entrails are basically stretching down to the floor. The 2-year-old's eyes are open, and sort of like all of a sudden she opens her eyes, and a high-pitched moan comes out, and her little arms are just kind of kicking and flapping towards you, and like the mother, she is also constrained to the baby, sort of like to the small child's seat. So it's sort of like a gross sight to witness something like this.
It's kind of funny, actually.
Why's that, Sam?
Just seeing the baby there.
It's not like that baby from the church.
It doesn't have fangs and razor teeth.
Yeah. Old Zachary says, "God forgive me," and then he says, "I'm just gonna go ahead and put him out of their miseries," and he puts a couple, basically takes their heads right off, and then he kind of shakes his head, and then he says, "Man, this ain't right, man. This ain't right. I'm telling you, I'm kind of questioning this whole thing. What kind of God would do this? What kind of God would
Zachary.
just do this?" Yes, the family.
Maybe next time just use a hammer and save your ammo.
I just didn't want to put my hand in there, and I didn't want to have you go in there nothing. So I still got quite a few rounds and all that good stuff. So yeah. And then Joe, old man Joe, he kind of taps his cane and says, "Liven up, man." And he said, basically, God flipped us the bird and walked away a while ago. We're on our own, Zachary and Michael. We're on our own. He gives the car sort of like a final glance, looks around, and says, "Come on, y'all, we better get this cleared and keep moving. We can at least get closer to the city and hit the bypass and go around this forsaken mess that it seems like we've gotten ourselves into." Beside the Ford Taurus there's an empty delivery truck. There's also a Ford Tundra pickup truck, a Saturn, a minivan, and a Toyota.
Sam is searching everything.
Okay. All right, give me a notice roll. Yeah, you don't find anything. You don't find anything, Sam. All of the cars are definitely empty. And as you guys are, the keys are still in these vehicles. So the Tundra and the delivery truck, they both start right up. You can nurse them off of the road if you want to. The other cars, looks like their headlights were on at one point, and the batteries are dead basically.
Was the Ford the only one that had people still in it?
The Ford did, the Taurus, but Zachary stuck his shotgun in there and took care of the
Right, but I mean,
the young girl.
we're not. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nobody else, and
Okay.
all of the other vehicles are empty. And like I was saying, the Tundra and the delivery truck, they start right up. But the other cars, they're going to have to probably be pushed off the road.
All right. Well, I'll get in the delivery truck and I'll try to push that Toyota out of the way.
Yeah, you can get it. You can definitely get you can probably use the delivery truck and kind of push everything off of the road. You kind of take the wheel and spin it to one side and
Okay.
push
Yeah,
it
I'll do
off.
that. I'll try to clear out this mess with the truck.
Yeah, I'll help him steer the cars off the road.
Okay. What else is everyone doing? Misty, Betty, Sam.
This is the road heading into town.
This is the main road, yeah, and it says ahead there's a bypass.
Okay, so we'll need to pass this.
Yeah.
All right. While they're doing that, I want to keep a lookout and just make sure that we're not ambushed by anything around the trees. I want to look and make sure no zombies are sneaking up either way, because he did fire off 2 shots, and that does tend to attract things. So I'm going to be looking out.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything? Searching? helping Sam look out, or help
I'm just
her?
looking around the area, making sure that any weapons that she has is ready to go.
When we get done pushing these off the road, is there any way we can take any gas that's left in them?
Sure, you could definitely